Studies reveal that more than 60% of adults have woken up in the middle of the night with a sudden, intense pain in their calf. And the worst part, many think this is just normal, when in reality it could be a warning sign from the body. Leg cramps are not just uncomfortable. They are a clear sign of imbalance in the body, especially when they happen frequently. If you've ever felt that paralyzing pain that feels like it's tearing your muscle and even keeps you from walking properly, you know how much this can disrupt your day. The good news is that there is a solution, and more than that, a simple, natural, and scientifically backed solution. A study published in the Journal of Clinical Neurology found that a deficiency in certain vitamins could be one of the biggest triggers for constant cramps. In other words, the problem might be what you're not eating. But what if all it took was adding 7 specific vitamins to your daily routine to put an end to this problem once and for all? That is exactly what will be revealed in this video. Get ready to understand the real reason behind these muscle pains, discover which nutrients your body is begging for, and of course, how to consume these vitamins smartly and safely. Stay tuned because topic number 4 is something you probably never imagined was related to your cramps. What are leg cramps and why do they happen so often? Leg cramps are involuntary muscle contractions that occur suddenly, usually causing intense pain. They come out of nowhere, often at night, and can last from a few seconds to several minutes. Most people try to stretch their leg or massage the area, but few stop to ask why this happens so often. The truth is, the body is trying to tell you something, and almost no one is paying attention. The curious thing is that, in most cases, cramps are a silent warning that something internal is out of place. Often, they have nothing to do with physical exertion. Sedentary people also suffer from them. In reality, this discomfort can be a consequence of dehydration, poor circulation, or even side effects of common medications such as diuretics. Another recurring factor is the excessive use of inappropriate shoes, like high heels or footwear without cushioning. For those who spend the day sitting or standing for long hours, the risk increases significantly. The environment also plays a role. Lower temperatures, like in northern U.S. states during winter, favor the occurrence of nighttime cramps. Have you noticed how the pain increases on cold nights? And here's the key point: nutrition. What you eat daily may be directly related to these persistent pains. Frequently eating fast food, drinking soda, or neglecting fruits and vegetables is a perfect combination for the emergence of cramps. But is the solution really on the plate? Wait until you see the next topic: how the lack of vitamins can cause recurring cramps. Few people make the connection between cramps and nutritional deficiencies, but science has already proven the absence of certain vitamins and minerals in the body is one of the main causes of muscle spasms. Therefore, even those who do not exercise can suffer from cramps, simply because they are not nourishing their bodies properly. The human body works like an orchestra, and vitamins are the invisible conductors. If even one of them is missing, the entire system falls out of balance. For example, magnesium regulates nerve impulse transmission and muscle relaxation. Vitamin B1, on the other hand, plays a role in energy metabolism and nerve function. And without enough potassium, muscles literally run out of energy to function. It's no coincidence that those who follow very restrictive diets or frequently skip meals feel these pains more. In the United States, where ultra-processed food is common, many people live with deficiencies without realizing it. A quick breakfast of donuts and coffee, a lunch of burgers and fries, and a microwave-heated dinner do not provide the essential nutrients the body needs. The result is a cycle of fatigue, cramps, and poor muscle recovery. Now think, how many people around you eat like this every day? And before we continue, here's a question. Do you usually take vitamins or rely solely on food? Leave a comment about your eating routine. Because the next vitamin we'll discuss is known to be a true muscle unlocker, and many people suffer simply because they don't know the powerful role it plays. Let's start by talking about the first vitamin, vitamin D. Vitamin D deficiency is a silent and more common problem than you might think, especially in countries like the United States, where many people spend their days indoors. This vitamin, which is primarily produced through sun exposure, is directly linked to muscle health. Studies indicate that low levels of vitamin D may increase the frequency and intensity of cramps because it plays a role in regulating calcium in the body, a mineral essential for proper muscle function. Without sufficient vitamin D, the body cannot absorb calcium effectively. This creates a domino effect that directly affects nerve impulses and muscle contraction. The result is a more vulnerable, stiffer muscle that is more prone to contracting uncontrollably. And even if you take calcium supplements without vitamin D, the effect may be null. It's like trying to fuel a car without opening the tank. What goes in is not utilized. Nowadays, even people living in sunny states like California or Florida can have a vitamin D deficiency. This is because the use of sunscreen, time spent in offices, or simply the habit of not going outdoors often drastically reduces the natural production of this vitamin. Therefore, in addition to diet, the routine of sun exposure also needs to be reconsidered. Just 15 minutes of direct sunlight daily on the arms and legs already makes a difference. If supplementation is necessary, it is important to seek guidance from a professional. But there are already capsules on the market with vitamin D3 combined with vitamin K2, which aid in absorption and proper calcium distribution. And here's a tip: mushrooms exposed to sunlight, eggs, and wild salmon are good dietary sources. And now get ready, because the next nutrient is even more impactful and is directly linked to the immediate relief of cramps. Number 2, magnesium. Magnesium is known as the relaxation mineral, and for good reason. It is involved in over 300 biochemical reactions in the body, including those that control nerve impulses and muscle function. When there is a magnesium deficiency, muscles become more excitable, meaning they contract unnecessarily and often painfully. This imbalance is one of the main causes of the nighttime cramps that disrupt the sleep of so many people. And even more alarming, according to the National Institutes of Health, about half of the US population does not consume enough magnesium. The modern routine contributes to this deficiency. Processed foods, excessive caffeinated beverages, high sugar intake, and even chronic stress drain magnesium from the body. The body simply cannot keep up with replenishing what it is losing. As a result, symptoms like tingling, muscle spasms, and of course cramps appear. The good news: the effects of supplementation are fast. In many cases, improvement occurs in less than a week. A practical way to include magnesium in your routine is through foods like spinach, avocado, almonds, black beans, and even dark chocolate with more than 70% cocoa. For those who prefer supplements, versions like magnesium glycinate or magnesium malate are well absorbed and gentler on the digestive system. There is also magnesium chloride, often used by those seeking faster results. The key thing to remember is that magnesium acts as a natural muscle relaxant. And what few people know, if you've tried everything and still suffer from cramps, the real culprit might be another mineral, equally essential and often overlooked. In the next topic, we'll talk about it. Any idea what it is? Number 3, potassium. Potassium is like a conductor that manages fluid balance and communication between nerves and muscles. When it is lacking, muscles do not receive the correct signals and start acting erratically. The result? Unexpected cramps, especially after simple activities like climbing stairs or standing for too long. And even in a country with abundant food like the United States, potassium intake is well below ideal. This happens because many avoid fresh fruits and vegetables, where this mineral is found in abundance. Contrary to what many people think, it is not just bananas that contain potassium. Sweet potatoes, avocados, coconut water, white beans, and even plain yogurt are rich and easy to include sources in the diet. Those who engage in physical activities, consume a lot of salt, or take diuretic medications need this nutrient even more. And you know that feeling of weakness at the end of the day or after a workout. It may not be fatigue, it may be a lack of potassium in the body. Potassium also helps maintain stable heartbeats and regulates blood pressure. In other words, it is not just the leg muscles that benefit, but the entire circulatory system. The absence of this mineral impairs the transport of oxygen and nutrients, which overloads the muscles and opens the door to painful spasms. It is like trying to run a car with no fuel and a flat tire at the same time. It will stall. And before moving on to the next nutrient, let us know in the comments, which of these potassium sources do you consume most often? Because in the next topic, we will talk about an element that everyone associates with bones, but which plays a surprising role in preventing cramps. And yes, it is more present in your body than you might think. Number 4, calcium. When it comes to calcium, almost everyone immediately thinks of strong bones and teeth. But what few people know is that it is also essential for proper muscle contraction. Without sufficient calcium in the body, muscles lose the ability to contract and relax properly. This causes spasms, cramps, and even tremors. According to the Harvard School of Public Health, a mild and prolonged calcium deficiency can cause muscle symptoms before even affecting the bones. In the United States, despite the abundance of dairy products, calcium deficiency still affects many people, especially the elderly, menopausal women, and those who follow unplanned vegan diets. Foods such as natural yogurt, cheddar cheese, calcium-fortified tofu, kale, and sardines are excellent and accessible sources. But here's a detail that few people notice. It's no use consuming calcium without ensuring adequate levels of vitamin D and magnesium, which are responsible for its absorption. Another point to watch out for is sodas and ultra-processed foods. Many of them contain phosphates that compete with calcium in the body, impairing absorption. In other words, the problem isn't just what you fail to consume, but also what you consume in excess. Avoiding these villains is already an important step toward restoring muscle balance. A body with well-distributed calcium functions like a silent and precise machine, free from unnecessary pain. And if you thought you were already taking good care of your muscles with calcium and vitamin D, get ready to learn about 2B complex vitamins that work behind the scenes. Without them, nerves cannot send the correct signals to the muscles. And this completely changes the game, as you're about to see. Number 5. Vitamin B1 and B12. Vitamins B1 thiamine and B12 cobalamin form a powerful duo when it comes to proper neuromuscular function. B1 is essential for converting food into energy and keeping nerves functioning optimally. Meanwhile, B12 is crucial for protecting the myelin sheath, a layer that surrounds the nerves and ensures electrical impulses reach the muscles correctly. When there is a deficiency of these vitamins, nerve signals get lost, muscles become confused, and the dreaded cramps appear. The lack of these vitamins is more common than people think. Those with restrictive diets, the elderly, those who consume excessive alcohol, or those with digestive problems are at higher risk of deficiency. In the United States, where social alcohol consumption and refined foods are high, this deficiency often goes unnoticed. The symptoms start slowly: numbness, tingling, unexplained fatigue, and of course, involuntary muscle contractions. Including these vitamins in your diet is not difficult. Lean meats, eggs, fortified cereals, legumes, and leafy green vegetables are great sources. For those who are vegan, vitamin B12 supplementation is practically mandatory, as it is not naturally found in plant-based foods. Combined supplements of vitamin B1 and B12 are also available, especially those that include other B-complex vitamins like vitamin B6, which enhance absorption and effect. Now tell me, have you ever felt that sudden shock or prickling sensation in your muscle? It might be your nervous system trying to work without the right tools. Leave in the comments if you've ever tried any of these vitamin supplements and what your experience was like. If your body has been screaming for help in the form of cramps, maybe it's just begging for what you failed to give it: the right nutrients. Now that you know the 7 essential vitamins to keep your muscles at peace, the question remains: what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue suffering night after night, or will you start changing your diet and routine today? Because in the end, it's not just about ending the pain. It's about quality of life, restorative sleep, energy during the day, and even more ease in your movements. Imagine waking up without that sharp pain in your leg. Imagine going for a walk without fear of your leg locking up. This is within your reach, and you already know the way. Now tell me, of these vitamins we talked about, which one do you suspect is missing in your body? Answer in the comments, because it might help more people who feel the same and don't know where to start. And if you already use any of them, share your experience. Your comment could be the push someone needs to turn the key. If this video brought you clarity and value, take the opportunity to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. This way, you keep receiving practical, science-based content that can transform your health from the inside out. After all, this was just the beginning. There is still much more coming.